Hey everybody, Brian Von Vier here, back at it again, today asking a unique question. If Dungeons & Dragons were actually a real thing, what class would you actually want to play and why? If I see any Ranger hate in this, I'm literally going to make MrRipper ban people. Druid! The trees are gonna tell me to commit crimes and I'm gonna listen. I am the Lorax! I speak for the trees! And for some fucking reason, to speak in Vietnamese! Druid as well, by the way, but for a different reason, of course. It's in the same spirit as the question, what superpower would you have for me? And unless you specifically want to time travel or something, the correct answer that encompasses 99% of superpowers is shapeshifting. That is incorrect. It is all about flying, my guy or girl. You want super strength? Be a big old bear. Flight? Owl. Excellent hearing? Bat. Get a high enough level and you can true polymorph into a young dragon and eventually shape change into ancient dragons. And then, all the non-transmutation related stuff is just a cherry on top. Healing the sick or even reviving the dead, reviving forests, and having control over pretty much all the Earth's elements. Oh, and just not ever dying once you're strong enough. You could just be a wizard, a really high-level sorcerer, and basically become immortal because you can still train your body and power up and get you big old muscles. Because, I mean, come on, it's real life. We could do that. Sorcerer. See, this guy gets it. High five. Just having inherent magic powers that require no personal effort beyond bloodline lottery is like the D&D version of being born a billionaire. Ranger. I would walk into the woods and vanish. I like you already! Artificer. Extremely convenient for day-to-day life, or Druid where I can hide in the forest because the D&D world is dangerous. Straight up, just knowing a cantrip or two would be incredibly useful. Prestidigitation on its own is a superpower, whereas Control Flames could put out goddamn lithium-ion battery fires or even magnesium thermite, not to mention spare the dying or guidance. But imagine the havoc of being able to just cause a 15-foot cube thunderclap explosion with just a word. Or the kind of damage an Eldritch Blaster would do. I mean, you could get the same result from eating Taco Bell, bending over and any full caster seems fine to me, although Monk is severely underrated as just a real modern life thing. Literally twice as fast as an average person. Speak and understand all spoken language. No food or sleep required. Immune to poison, on-demand invisibility, and perfect health and mobility up to the second that you die. Way of Mercy makes you able to heal people as well. The ability to walk around and have an excellent armor class while wearing normal clothes would also be ideal. Or having excellent unarmed damage. Two things that seem to not matter much in D&D but would matter way more in the real world if you suddenly were getting attacked in a library. Druid! I work in veterinary and speak with animals would be so useful. Wizard. Come on, guys. Isn't wizard like the only answer here? I mean, you have immortality, phenomenal cosmic powers, ample living space. Everybody is saying sorcerer because they don't want to study or babysit a book. Now, I'm over here in Camp Wizard because the cantrips alone are superior utilities, and I'm gonna obsessively study my way to Simulacrum and start multiplying myself. Plus, like, what else would you have to do? It's not like you need to have innate spellcasting because you've got time to work. Hold on, it's like what? 10 minutes of studying per spell level per spell or something like that to memorize a spell? Or was that in previous editions? Well, either way, who cares, because once you spend an hour and a half studying Wish, you never have to study again. Even without Wish, you can unlock immortality on a rainy Sunday afternoon. Whatever class gets teleport the soonest. Cleric. Heal those who are suffering. I respect you infinitely for that answer. Bard. Then I'd know how to play an instrument. I thought for a long time that I would want to be a wizard so that I could learn everything there is to be known and use the vast knowledge of the world to fix problems. But the older I grow, the more I realize that modern problems don't require vast intellect to solve. The answers have always been right in front of us. The world doesn't need brilliance right now. It just needs somebody to stand up for it. a paladin. Bard. Jack of all trades means you're at least passable at everything, and expertise means you're really, really good at a few things. And if those things are your job, yeah, being like in the 1% in any field means you're earning a ton. Also, being innately charismatic means you interview exceptionally well, and you don't need to rely on magic to get stuff done. Which might be important if you're trying to keep your powers on the DL, you know, down low. Warlock, easily, particularly a pact with the Great Old One. We all know the horrors that exist within D&D, and if it existed as real life, then it wouldn't be like a campaign, where there's just the one big bad to deal with at the very end. All the eldritch beasts, vampires, and demons would be out to play, and I'd rather be sided, pawn or not, with some great and powerful cosmic horror of an entity, especially if bound to a pact with them. I mean, if it were vampires and such I had to deal with, then wizards all fine and dandy. But if some of the real, difficult horror came to life, like, I don't know, aboliths, leeches, Tiamat, revenants, archdevils, and demon lords. Fireball is not gonna help me defend myself. Yeah, not at all. I'd much rather be in a mutually beneficial pact with a being that could potentially save me. I mean, sure, you could say that cleric might be a better fit in that situation, but clerics don't have pacts. They are gifted power for doing things their god likes and carrying out their god's will. There's no formality to it. It's not like an exchange like a warlock. It's more of a you're being rewarded for your devout faith kind of thing. If a god wishes to cast their cleric off into the abyss, oh, they certainly can. I think Will and Mizora's relationship is a great example of why I'd prefer a Warlock pact. Spoiler for, obviously, BG3 right there. Despite being a heinous devil, she's completely honor-bound by the pact and can only harm Will in some way when he's broken it. Breaking the pact has consequences for her too, which is why D&D pacts are so amazing. That is, if you're able to intricately formulate one in your favor, like devils like to do. It's greatly implied that some Great Old One pacts are even made without the eldritch horror behind them knowing. They just accidentally give a mortal power. Imagine being able to manipulate a pact like that. Plus, being in a pact with a powerful evil entity means that, hey, one less entity wanting to kill me, and that's great! Also, I don't really think that most good clerical gods would want me dead right off the bat, though godly pettiness and all that could change it. Monk. Be able to run on water? Check. Ageless until death and immune to disease? Check. No longer need food and water? Double check. Can understand and speak any language? Yes, sir. Immune to poisons? Good to go. Can stop being afraid at will? Check. Becoming a parkour master who can run up walls and reduce fall damage? Become invisible at will. Be able to astral project? Check in there too. This is all before subclasses. You could still teleport through shadows or shoot energy blasts, heal people, make a creature explode after hitting them, or just choose not to die for the measly cost of a single key point. It isn't even a contest for me, and you sold it. Druid. I work in IT, so I could finally live the average IT dream to leave the corporate world and be a farmer. Plus, flying sounds like fun. Cleric. The right mix of helping friends in need and wrecking face. It would also ease some of my existential anxiety to be able to talk to my god whenever I was in a bind. You know, being a ranger's cool too. You could talk to nature, so there's that. Fighter. Because I want to help get those screw-around people to find out. But, you know, you could do that as a ranger too, just more, quietly. I would be a barbarian! Reckless attack. Most people are commoners, so you really only need one hit each. Might as well guarantee your hit. Listen, Ranger does the same thing to commoners with a bow and arrow. Stop it. Arcane Trickster Rogue. The prank potential is second to none. I mean, I'm already good at stealth as it is. Now let me cast invisibility on myself while I'm reverse pickpocketing the paladin's holy symbol into the sorcerer's bag. I'm a writer by trade, so College of Eloquence Bard would be just nice. Jack of all trades is nice because I'm dog shit at everything else, and I'd like to be a little less shit at everything I do. Given my fascination for the Eldritch and all things occult, Warlock, are you a goth girl? Soul Knife Rogue, because I would be psychic and I would always have a pocket knife on hand. Artificer, definitely. I'm just a very technically and scientifically minded person. I program computers and even teach it to kids. Proud of you. And I've also done a decent amount of work for programming, microcontrollers, and electronic circuits. Plus, science and physics have always been big interests of mine, and I tend to do pretty well in those subjects as well as math. I'm a quick learner when I really apply myself too, but not only that, artificers are just really cool. I absolutely love mixing technology and science with magic. There might be a bit of a wizard multi-class with me, of course, as they get power through study and research, which I have done a good amount of. However, I think I would still mostly be an artificer. Assuming that every task you do is legitimately determined by some unseen roll of a die, I'd go with rogue. This is mostly because I'd like to excel at a few broad tasks in life while also being able to just slip away from situations, which is really nice. Assuming that we get to pick a subclass, Soul Knife would be fun for the fact that now I'm never unarmed, and I can teleport a fair distance. A close second is, weirdly, Assassin, purely for that mimicry ability they get at a high level, because then I'd just be the best actor and it'd be a nice party trick. If roles aren't a thing, then Wizard, because it's just another set of tools that I can have. Plus, with enough setup, and assuming you're a high enough level, you could solve a lot of world problems. Or, legitimately solve them without the abuse of Meteor Swarm and Delayed Blast Fireball. A wizard! But not even a high-level one, just one with enough spells to live a comfortable life and mind his own damn business! I'd be that guy in Harry Potter using magic to stir his tea. I feel that. Bard. Magic, stealth, bodic knowledge, and music. I could tell amazing stories that captivate and entertain, and have a group of people just sit around me for hours on end while I spin a tale and have them leave being amazed and excited to come back. Like being a DM. So as a variant human, if I multi-class, I'd just take a level in every class. It'd basically make me a low-key superhero. I'd only level up to 3 in Rogue so I could take Arcane Trickster. It wouldn't make me all powerful, but what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills that I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. And honestly, that's what we need today. Or any day, really. Knee-jerk answer has to be some sort of magic user, but I'd equate the magic schools with top-tier colleges so they'd be exclusive, expensive, competitive, and incredibly difficult. So if D&D were real, I'd like the idea of becoming a sexy sorceress with a billion spell slots, but end up saying, "Screw adventure, that shit is dangerous!" Seriously though, being a tavern owner sounds like pretty sweet alternatives to me. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA back at it again, checking in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and let us know down in the comments below if D&D were real, or Pathfinder, Cyberpunk, and all that. What class would you want to be, and why? Love you all, see you next time, bye for now.